Well, good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again. After quite a long delay, I apologise, I've really not been well. I'm pretty much recovered now and hopefully start catching up with some videos. Firstly, as you know, Flight Sim 2024 was released yesterday, 19th of November. I believe there were some struggles, people getting downloaded, installed, but hopefully over the next few days that'll sort itself out. I've ordered the collector's edition from Airsoft, which means I've not got it yet, and the code they sent me to access the program from Microsoft doesn't seem to work, so I'm going to be waiting until I get that, and we will have a look at that too. So for the meantime, welcome back. We're in Flight Sim 2020. Where are we? We're in Portugal. This is Lisbon Airport in Portugal, Lima Papa Papa Tango. This is the new version 2 by MK Studios. They released an update, so the current version is 1.0.2, was released yesterday, for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Download comes in at 1.37 gig and it installs at 2.61 gig. It's available from both Simmarket and the Inibuilds store. Very little difference in the price actually. Also, you guys who are into Flight Sim 2024 note that a compatible version is available from MK Studios, also from Simmarket and from Inibuilds, so you can download that and install it into Flight Sim 2024 at your leisure. Let me give you the Simmarket price. Currently it's €20.39 or $22.09 US. Or £17.15 UK. Those prices are estimates, US and UK prices, taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course can vary depending on where you are when you make the purchase. Please note as well, if you go to Simmarket, if you got it from Simmarket, there are discounts for previous owners of previous versions for this update, so you can get it a little bit cheaper. And as I said, it's available for Flight Sim 2024 now as well, so that's good news. Where there are compatible versions for Flight Sim 24, during my reviews I'll mention that and make sure you're aware of it. So for the moment, let's look at features. So features, so MK Studios have really done a bit of a job on this, so you can expect a highly detailed rendition of Lisbon Airport, Lima Papa Papa Tango. Key interior areas have been modelled, up-to-date ground layout with custom PBR textures, accurate runway elevation profile data, custom jetways, custom vehicle models, custom approach, runway, taxiway lights, ILS and other objects, custom taxiway labels, and it's also AI compatible for you people who don't fly online, which is really useful. So that was a features list generally. Let's go and have a look at some history now. Okay, history. Lisbon Humberto Delgado Airport, Lima Papa Papa Tango, usually just known as Lisbon Airport and previously known as Portela Airport, is an international airport owned by the Vinci Company SA and operated by ANA Aeroportos de Portugal. The airport is located 3.9 miles or 7 kilometres northeast of the city centre of Lisbon in Portugal. With around 34 million passengers a year, it's the 12th largest airport in Europe and the busiest single runway airport in mainland Europe. It also carries approximately 200,000 tonnes of cargo each year. The airport is the main hub for Portugal's flag carrier TAP Air Portugal, including its subsidiary TAP Express. It's also a hub for Ryanair and EasyJet. It's also a focus city for Azores Airlines, Euro Atlantic Airways, Highfly and White Airways. It is a major hub for flights to and from Africa and South America, primarily Brazil. The airport is expected to be shut down after the new Lisbon Luís Camões Airport is fully operational, and that's expected in around 2034. Lisbon is one of the most congested airports in Europe and one of the only major airports to have an approach path directly over the city, leading to noise pollution. A study by the European Federation for Transport and Environment, released in 2024, showed that people who live close to the airport are at greater risk of hypertension, diabetes or dementia due to exposure to ultrafine particles. that are left suspended in the air by aircraft. The airport opened in October 1942 during World War II and initially operated in conjunction with the Cabo Revo seaplane base. Seaplanes performed transatlantic flights and passengers were transferred onto continental flights operating from the new airport. As a neutral airport, it was open to both German and British airlines and was a hub for smuggling into, out of and across Europe. It's widely referenced in the classic film Casablanca, whose plot revolves around an escape attempt to Lisbon Airport. As such, it was heavily monitored by spies from both Axis powers and the Allies. Although Portugal was actually neutral, the airport was used by Allied flights en route to Gibraltar, North Africa and Cairo. The end of the war saw the airport develop rapidly, and by 1946 it was used by major airlines such as Air France, British European Airways, Iberia, KLM, Sabena, Pan Am and Trans World Airlines. By 1954 the number of passengers had reached 100,000. Major upgrades from 1959 to 1962 included a new runway capable of handling the first generation of jets, such as the Boeing 707 and the Douglas DC-8. In 1962, runway 0220 came into use, allowing direct transatlantic flights. When TAP ordered the Boeing 747 in 1972, 5 large parking bays were built and the terminal was enlarged, along with major upgrades to the buildings and facilities during 1983. 1991 saw the first air bridges added to the terminal. In October 2010, EasyJet opened a new base at Lisbon Airport, initially using Terminal 2 for departures until in 2022 the airline moved to Terminal 1. Between 2007 and 2013, the airport underwent several structural and equipment improvements and expansions. These included construction of Terminal 2, lighting and baggage claim refurbishment, new cargo facilities, fuel storage, baggage claim and other improvements. The current Lisbon airport is expected to be shut down after the new Lisbon Luís de Camões airport in Montijo, some 19 miles or 13 kilometers away by road, is fully operational. The new airport is expected to be operational by 2034. So there we go, some history, an interesting neutral airport during World War II, used by both enemies. Yeah, some history behind this, and to be honest, MK Studios look to have modelled it beautifully. So for the moment, let's get down to the runway, have a look at the runways and the NAVAIDS associated with that. Okay, so runways and navigation lanes at Lisbon Airport. They used to operate 2 runways. However, the shorter of the 2 has now closed. You can see the remnants of it across here. And now the airport operates a single runway, 0220, measuring 12,162 feet or 3,707 meters, and it's constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 355 feet or 108 meters and sits within the GMT UTC time zone. Now, like the UK, Portugal does indeed observe Daylight Saving Time or DST, and both the UK and Portugal now having returned to GMT, because it's November, the airport is on the same time as the UK. So runway 20 and 02, both ends of the runway feature high-intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, high-intensity airfield lighting system version 2, touchdown zone lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side. Now here we are staring down the throat of runway 02 and you can see Pappy's on the left. There's the centerline, there's the touchdown zone lighting and the high-intensity lighting. Lead-in lights are as per the charts. So you've got that perfectly okay. Note that runway 02 also has runway end identifier lighting system and a high-speed turn-off. Now the high-speed turn-off is up there, which is fine, but you can see the runway end identifier lights are missing. There should be 2 white lights either side here flashing, which I can't see here. So that's the only thing that's missing really. And there you see we've got the dusk lighting just come up and sprang on. But other than that, this runway looks pretty good. Okay, both ends of the runway feature instrument landing systems certified for both Cat 2 and 3 low visibility operations. Now you also have an RNP approach option, and this runway 02 has a visual approach option on the chart as well. So let's go and have a look at the other end, runway 20. So here we are looking at the other end, runway 20, and you can see quite a large displaced threshold here. Approach lighting system as per the charts. PAPI's on the left, centerline lighting, touchdown zone lighting, and the high intensity airfield lighting version 2. No runway end identifier lights here, but they are, as I said, on the other end, 02 there. So runway 20 also features a high-speed turn-off, just further up the runway there. So all looking good, everything as per the charts pretty good, except we're just missing the runway end identifier, the 2 white flashing lights on runway 02 the other end. But apart from that, all good indeed. So that was that. Let's have a look at jetways now. Okay, jetway test. So here we are on stand 116 at Lisbon. I've switched to the PMDG Boeing 737-800. This is my livery, VAP Air. We had some texture issues with the Phoenix. We'll have a look at that at some point. So time to do the jetway test. The parking looks pretty good. We're on the center line, and positionally I spawned from the menu and it looks to be okay. Let's try the jetway. So there we go. She's moving quite slowly, but the motion looks pretty good. The wheels are in the right direction so far. There's a bit of a pause. Okay, and I can see the wheels turning inside. That looks pretty good. Stairs going to the concrete. That's nothing new. And the cover looks quite reasonable there. Let's get a close-up look at that. Right, it looks quite reasonable. The cover at the top's a bit out of place, but I don't know, maybe we're on a small stand. Let's see. We've got the 737 marker is actually down here. But anyhow, it's connected to the door. It's gone through the skin ever so slightly. Let's check from the other side. That looks pretty reasonable from this side. So let's go inside, open the door and see how that is. So as you can see, the actually end of the jetway door is closed. The shutter is closed here. And this really is probably the best view we can get to see the door open. As you know, on the PMDG, the door doesn't open. You have to do it yourself. So let's open the door and see whether it infringes the side of the jetway. So there's the door opening. Okay, so it hits the end of the shutter door. But that's quite reasonable, really. There we can see the upper part of the hood. And as you can see, the door hasn't infringed the hood in any case at all. Bit of a gap at the top, but nothing serious really. And the jetways actually come up plush to the aircraft side at the right level, so that's not bad at all. The only slight issue, as I said, is that shutter's closed, so the door would have infringed it. But no sweat, let's go inside. So there you can see the end of the jetway and the shutter door, and that's pretty good. No real issues there at all. So here in the passenger cabin you can see the jetway hood hasn't gone through the skin here, or doesn't appear to be, so that's pretty good. And here looking inside the cockpit you can see once again no infringement actually of the aircraft itself by the hood, which is quite impressive. Here we are inside the cockpit here, the captain's side, and for those of you that have it, you can see the visual docking guidance system is active. We've got exactly the right time as well. It is 15:36 in the simulator, and you can see we've got the stand number switching there. So that's a bonus. So a quick view from outside. We're going to disconnect the jetway in a moment. As you can see, you've got the glass jetway. So once again, those of you that have got GSX will be able to see passengers walking up through the open glass here. So let's disconnect the jetway. Once again, the hood has sprung back quite quickly, and the jetway moves away from the door and fully retracts. Perfect, yeah, no problem at all there. So there you go, that was a jetway test. All works perfectly okay. Be interesting to see how it would be if we actually pull the aircraft forward onto the 737 marking. But that works fine. Excellent. So once again, with all of this done, let's get into the airport proper and have a look and see what we're faced with here. Okay, so let's have a close look at this airport, start the main tour. We're going to start with a few outlying shots. I really want you to see what MK Studios have done in terms of fitting this airport into the location. So here we are, runway 20 threshold here, up at the northern end, and here you can see the motorway going past the airport, complete with signs and lighting, and you can also see the vehicles going down the correct side of the road. So that's quite nice. We'll do a few shots of these things so you can see the outlying areas first before we look at the airport proper. See, once again, here we are looking on the northeast side of the airport, and you can see the motorway here. They've sort of done 3D work on the motorway all the way down here. You've got some signage here too, and the 3D modelling seems to go all the way down, so there's been quite a bit of work done on the exterior part of the airport here, which is pretty impressive. So looking a bit further, this is sort of east of the airport, terminal complex is over here. Here you can see the road system, again signage. There's a bit of sort of, this is a little bit mistaken here, but all of this looks pretty good. It's hard to see what's default and what's been added, if any. But what it boils down to is quite a nice visual expectation of the area around the airport that's not on the airfield, which is quite impressive. So this looks like an interesting place to land. So when just again, just a quick view sort of east of the airfield. Here's the airfield complex here, and here's the road system. I mean, it's all really good. It's 3D modelled. It's not. It's hard to see if it's default. It looks a lot better than default. Here you've got road signage as well, and as you can see, I've got the cars turned on, and they're all going in the right direction. I'm staying on the roads, on the correct side of the road as well. So it all really fits in really well with the scenery that MK Studios have put into this area. And finally, here we are looking at the landside road system just to the east of runway 02 threshold, which is here. And here you can see the road system, lights, signs, you know, and it all works. It looks really good. So let's take a tour airside now, south to north on the airfield, and have a look at what it looks like. So as you can see, I'm getting a bit of judders. I have switched to DLSS from TAAA in my graphics cards, but you can see, I mean, it doesn't look too bad at all. Stutters are okay, I suppose. Could be a lot worse. There's the Phoenix Airbus A319, it's my version, sitting there on the ramp, and we'll have a look in the cockpit in a minute. But as you can see, I mean, visually it's pretty good. It's quite detailed. I mean, the stands look really impressive. There's not a lot of clutter, which is good actually, because it means you can park your aircraft without fear of hitting anything. And as we continue north airside, you can see, I mean, the detail's really good. Ground markings are excellent. We've got the appropriate oil stains in various parts there. Here's the control tower, there's the fire station down there. And you've got various other bits of additional parking to the right. And the modelling is good. It's the typical sort of thing we expect from MK Studios. It's pretty decent. Buildings are all nicely textured. Got the car parks there. And again, you've got vehicles going down the roads. Oh, it's pretty impressive. It's you know, nice attention to detail here. There's the fence line which goes right round the airport too, and you've got the ILS bar there, and the windsock. So here's the approach to runway 20 onto the extended threshold, and here's the signage. All pretty impressive, it all works, and you've also got wigwags which I can just see working. They'll probably look better in the dark. Once again, detailed signage, all sitting on plinths, nothing just stuck in the grass. That's good quality. And one of the high-speed exits from the runway. Again, you can see the signage is of good quality and all sits in the properly as indeed it should. And more signage, all of an excellent quality, and you can see the appropriate sort of tyre marks as well. This is good, you know, it's good quality scenery. So we'll head across the taxiway. Here you can see the car park. We'll head towards the control tower and have a look at what's inside. Down there to the right you can see fire engines outside the fire station. And again, nice attention to detail. So there's the outside of the control tower. Let's have a look from the other side where the light is coming from. So once again, a nicely textured building there, concrete construction. Let's go inside. So as you can see, a nice interior modelled control tower. It looks perfectly acceptable. Would have been nice to have a controller or two sitting there, but apart from that, it looks great, and you've got good vision outside of the windows as well. And just another view looking towards the sort of southeast there. So let's continue landside. We go over the top here and have a look at the TAP Air Portugal base. And again, these buildings are really good. So more parking stands here. Again, excellent level of detail, even down to the foliage, look. So there's the hangar to the left, and again parking stands in front of it. Various bits of clutter, but not lots of it, just the right amount, which is brilliant. It all looks really nice. It's been very well modelled. And here we come a little bit further south, and you've got maintenance area with TAP airport vehicles, aircraft, with TAP aircraft sitting here. Absolutely brilliant. Very nice modelling. There's a car park down there, multi-storey car park below us. And here we get landside of the terminal. So just a quick tour of the landside area. You can see, I mean, the detail is wonderful. Some really nice detail here landside. All the roads and ramps, cars in their slots, nothing missing. Buses down there. Okay, as we move toward the terminal, you can see signage, and we've got people standing there ready to go into the bus, which is good. Again, a high degree of quality here in the modelling. Various static people standing here and there. It's really good. So as we go landside to this terminal here, again, you've got people standing around, which really gives it some atmosphere. Very nice indeed. So quick look landside inside the terminal. As you can see, it's been modelled, but there's nothing really here in this one. And there we are looking in the other direction. So we go across this area, southern end of the terminal, we'll cross to the car park. Again, the quality of modelling is really good. And having the odd people here and there really helps. There's people standing at the bus stop here, landside of the terminal. It's really nice. Air conditioning units on the outside of the building there. And it all looks good. It really is quality here. Everything down to the road signs here as you come out towards the airport. It's very nice indeed. Okay, let's have a look at the stands close up, which is what you pilots are interested in. Here you can see, I mean, the detail is amazing. It all looks really good. You've got the appropriate amount of clutter. Engineers walking about here, and here you've got the fuel bowser hookups for when the fuel bowser comes to fuel the aircraft. And as I said, various bits of clutter, all looks pretty good. Let's have a look inside the cockpit. So we're on stand 124 this time. We're in the Phoenix A319 sitting on the stand. The VDGS system, or the Visual Docking Guidance System, also works. Here you can see. Let's check the time. There you go, 10:50. So it's all correct and that works. So visually quite pleasing view there. There's a view from the captain's side with the jetway disconnected, as you can see. And a quick shot of the first officer's window. So as you can see here, we've got ground markings. I spawned directly from the menu. And we're pretty close. Here's the A320 737 marking. These for the Embraer and the A321, so we're pretty close. So that's pretty good in terms of the marking. You've also got the safe area correctly marked out. I mean, this all looks great. There's really nothing much to complain about here at all. And as you can see from this shot, I mean, plenty of stand availability. It all looks really quite impressive. Really not an awful lot to complain about. Okay, so that was a quick look at daytime. Let's turn the lighting down to dusk now and have a look and see how good it is. Okay, 5:20 in the late afternoon. It's the 20th of November 2024. Lights came on about 5 minutes ago, and here we are looking directly sort of east. There you can see the bridge, and here's the main airport terminal. And the lighting is indeed very subtle, and it's just as good. It's the sort of thing we expect from MK Studios, another good developer. And that looks pretty impressive. So looking north, all looks a bit dark down there, but we'll get down and have a closer look. But again, the areas that need to be lit, you've got stands here and here by the hangar, and some very nice lighting on the associated buildings landside as well. And then looking towards the southwest, you've got the rest of the terminal here, and more stands here, and you've got the runway lit to the right of here. And there's the runway 02 threshold, and here you've got additional stands and things going on. Lighting looks pretty impressive, no complaints at all. Let's get down to the stands, have a look. So here's a shot of my aircraft on stand 124, and here you can see development airside inside the buildings, and the lights are on, and this looks quite a nice little scene here. There's some beautiful lighting up here, and various amounts of ramp clutter, and the ramp itself is well lit all the way down, which is good. There's a quick look at the head of the stand. There you can see the timing has kept up with the correct time. Here's the baggage entry system from airside. Bags come down, they get loaded onto the aircraft. And again, it all looks pretty good. And here airside, you've got a little bit of development with a few passengers looking out of the windows. And here we are looking towards the south. Again, passengers airside in the airside lounge, and some really nice lighting here on the buildings. As you look down here, plenty for you to explore and have a look at. So a quick view from the flight deck. This is what you'll see when you pull up on stand 124 at about 5:25. And you can see you've got a really good view of the baggage system here under the terminal. So as we do a quick tour airside, you can see your lighting is really good. Plenty for you to explore in terms of airside lounges. I'm not going to go mad, I don't want this to be too long a video. But the lighting goes all the way down here. Here you've got additional stands to the west, all properly lit. And you've got this area here, which I believe is cargo. It looks pretty impressive. Again, some really nice lighting. Animated radar dome there as well. So while we're here, here's the entrance to runway 02. Looking at the signage, we've got green centerline lights, which we didn't see much during the day. Or when we did the runway test. But again, plenty of signs, all properly lit. You've got wigwags here. I'm sure if I get close they'll actually work. And there you go, working wigwags to the entrance to runway 02. So runways and taxiway signage, again, a really good order. You're not going to have any problems finding your way around here, especially with the green centerline lighting. And a quick look to the north, there you can see the taxiway lighting, all looks pretty good. Really no complaints. Just a couple of quick shots landside here that we hadn't looked at during the day very much. Here you can see the maintenance facility for TAP Air Portugal, complete with static aircraft. And again, some nice subtle lighting on the buildings. I believe these are hotels here landside. Here's the multi-story, that's landside again. The stairs have got really impressive lighting there. So here's another shot of landside before we go up close to the terminal. Just wanted you to see the varying amounts of little subtle lighting here and there. No asobo globes floating around, which is a big plus. And here you've got lighting on some of the landside buildings as well. And in this shot you can see subtle lighting inside the building here, which is, I think it's pretty impressive, to be honest. So here we are close to the terminal. Here's landside of the car park. Again, some subtle lighting, not overdone, just shows the right amount. So there's the terminal. Again, some really nice subtle lighting. The signs all lit here, and even the hoardings are lit nicely as well. And just a look landside here, you can see the signage on the side of the buildings are all nicely lit, as indeed they should be. You've got the rent-a-car here and various vehicles here, none of which are out of place. I mean, it looks great. And again, some subtle lighting along the road with some trees here and there. It looks good. It's been beautifully modelled. Really no complaints. And then looking west, you can see the stand area we looked at before, and more modelling and lighting down the landside roads. It looks pretty good, it really does. And there's a wider shot looking northwest. Here's runway 20 and various bits and pieces down here. So there was a brief look at dusk. Let's drop it right down to night time now and see how far the lighting comes up. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see the night is full upon us and the lighting has come up significantly and it does look pretty good. The stands all look really nicely lit, and you've got green lights, centerline lighting helping you get around, because you've got quite a trip from the stands right across here to what is now the only active runway. So let's get a close-up look at the stand. So once again, here we are back on stand 124. Yeah, it looks great. It's really well lit actually. Let's have a look from the cockpit. So there you can see, this is the view from the cockpit when you pull up here at night time. View from the captain's side. And looking out from the first officer's window, and you can see into the terminal here. So here's the other part of the terminal that we didn't really look at closely last time, and again some really impressive detail inside here. Let's pop inside very quickly. So here we are airside inside the terminal here, and you can see static people. The floor looks great. And there we are looking towards landside. The people models are excellent. Here we are up close to this guy on the left, and it looks pretty impressive. Lots for you to explore, and that's what it looks like airside here. So there's an open shot from airside looking at the stands. You've got a really nice moon there in the distance. Let's do a little tour airside to landside here. I mean, it looks nice, it really does. Again, plenty of subtle lighting on the buildings that matter. And here you've got the hotels. And the lighting is lovely. And the whole sort of features and everything just goes on. I mean, it looks great. So as we track back to airside here, it's very nice. So here's the control tower from landside. There in front of it you've got the fire station. And there we are looking inside the control tower. No controllers, but the lighting's pretty good, especially on top of the roof there. Here's the fire station building, a couple of fire tenders outside, and a little bit of parallaxing here on the building to give you the effect that something's going on inside, that it has some interior, which is a really good thing. There you can see the TAP hangar. Some lovely subtle lighting. You know, wherever you look, it's it's just been well done. It's very impressive. And there we are looking towards the threshold of runway 20 up in the distance. Here you can see taxiway signs and lighting, and various little lit buildings landside here as you look. This is a very nice location, and the airport fits right in. They've done a wonderful job. Okay, final shot looking southwest. Here's the terminal, there's airside. And anyway, let's bring the dawn up. If I'm in the right position, let's have a look and see what it looks like. Okay, 7:35 in the morning. As you can see, the sun is now reflecting off some of the buildings. You've got this lovely red glow that you normally see at dawn, and also on the hills in the distance here. There's a view looking southwest. And looking towards the north, again you've got this lovely colouring on the buildings when the sun lights up. It's really nice. And there's the famous bridge and the sun rising in the distance. Really, really nice. Okay, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've just sort of changed the time. Time to wrap up the review and have a chat about what I think. Okay, for owners of Flight Sim 2020, this is the new version 2 of this airport by MK Studios, and I have to say it's really impressive. Okay, I'm getting some frame rate stutters, but there are a number of reasons for that probably. I've now switched from TAA rendering to DLSS with quality over performance, which has improved it slightly and still gives me a better look really. Latest video drivers. I haven't got the top end graphics card. So actually what you're seeing is still pretty impressive. I like it a lot. I like what's been done. The detail is wonderful. We've got the usual quality from MK Studios, and I think one of the things I like about it a lot is the way it sits in to the default terrain. Sometimes when you look at a product like this, one of the best things about it is whether or not you can tell what's default and what isn't. And in many places here it's hard to see what's not. I've got all the world updates loaded, so I should imagine I've got Spain and Portugal in some detail, but I don't think we've got Lisbon as a cityscape anyway. So what we're seeing around the airport environment actually looks pretty good in the way that it fits in terrain wise. They've done a nice job. I really like it. Everything's pretty much correct. Really no complaints. Nice to see when I get a new PC whether this will look any better and quicker. But it's great. I like it a lot. Really no complaints about it. Price is good. And like I say, there are discounts for people who've had previous versions, say for Prepare 3D for example. You can get this upgrade for Flight Sim 2020 at a discounted price. And as I said, please note there is a 2024 compatible version available for download as well when you make your purchase. So you've got the best of both worlds. So there you are, folks. It's Lisbon Airport in Portugal. Lima Papa Papa Tango. Payware scenery by MK Studios. The latest 2020 version here is 1.0.2, which came out literally a few days ago for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Downloads 1.37 gig and installs at 2.61 gig. Available from both Simmarket and the Inibuilds store. Prices are pretty similar, not much to between the two. And those prices are €20.39, which equates to roughly $22.09 US, or £17.15 UK. US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax and VAT at 20%, which of course could vary depending on where you make your purchase. As I said, a Flight Sim 2024 compatible version is available now from the vendor. Certainly it's available on Simmarket, I've just seen it. A really nice scenery, no hesitation in recommending it, and I think it's time for me to fly down here. So thanks again for watching, folks. My name's Lee. Thank you for joining me. Guys, thank you for staying with me. I've had nearly a month out thanks to illness, and I'm now really about time to catch up with videos. I will be making some videos for Flight Sim 2024 just as soon as I receive the product, and we'll get going. And I will also try to keep details about upgrade compatibility in the videos as I make them. So thanks for joining me. Have a good November. Those of you who've got Flight Sim 24, hope you're really enjoying it. We get the usual grief when they release something like this, and when it all settles down, I'm hoping we'll see some huge improvements. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting me. If you like what I do, you can buy me a coffee. It's really cheap, but it helps towards the cost of producing these videos. But I will see you in the next one. I'm hoping to get Innsbruck out maybe later this week. Have a look at that, the new version, and see what that's like. So thanks again, guys. Good flights and fly safe. Take care now. Bye bye.